Hey there Pokemon fans, Retros here with another deck review. So in this video I'm very excited about it because I'm going to review my very first standard competitive deck for you guys, and this is a Pyroar deck that I've found on the internet and made my changes because I didn't have few cards, and I have 81 overall games played with this deck and 56 wins. That is about 70% win rate, but I have to say that I've lost at least 10 games because of disconnects, but that doesn't mean that they were all wins. But you know, it's not the best way to measure my win rate. But anyways, let's just review the deck, and I have to say that I love this deck, guys. I really like this deck, and I just like it. So we have, let's see, we have 10 Pokemon, and we have Mewtwo EX, Charizard EX, Litleo, and Pyroar. Of course, that's actually our combo. And let's talk about Litleo first. Litleo is just a Pokemon that evolves to Pyroar. That's why we need Litleo actually. And let's go to Pyroar. So Pyroar has the intimidating main, which says that prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon. Wow! Guys, that's awesome, because most people nowadays play Pokemon EX Pokemon, and all EX Pokemon instead of Mega evolutions are basic Pokemon, and basically this guy cannot be damaged by any Pokemon EX, and that's awesome. Also, it cannot be damaged by any basic Pokemon, and that's awesome as well. So that's basically why I play Pyroar, because he's almost untouchable by the most played Pokemon in Pokemon Online and in Pokemon generally. So most of the times people surrender, just concede the game because they cannot deal with Pyroar, and that's basically why we play this deck. And with 1 fire energy and 2 colorless energy, you get to deal 60 damage plus 30 more if you discard the fire energy. Most of the times you need to do that. There are several times that you will not do that, but you will see that on the playtest video, and no, I cannot basically explain. You have to playtest with that in order to realize how this thing works. Also, we have few trainers that pump Pyroar's attack, Muscle Band, and I will talk about this thing later. Weakness to water is okay. This deck has a huge problem against Blastoise decks, but it's okay. Resistance, no resistance, retreat cost is decent. Most of the times you don't want to retreat Pyroar, and the awesome thing is that you can just equip first turn. Okay, turn first, you play Litleo, just equip a fire type energy. Next turn, evolve to Pyroar and equip a double colorless energy. Boom, 60 damage, and you cannot get damaged by most of your opponent's Pokemon. Oops. Okay, now we have Charizard EX, which is a way to win if you don't draw Pyroar, or you know, it's quite easy actually to get Combustion Blast to Charizard. Just 2 fire type energy and 1 double colorless energy, 150 damage, and you just cannot use Combustion Blast next turn. Even Wing Attack is good, and again it can be reached easily, especially with the Blacksmith that we have in the deck. And Mewtwo EX, we use only the X Ball, which deals 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to this Pokemon and the defending Pokemon. Pretty straightforward, you probably know about that. The only extremely bad thing about Mewtwo EX is the weakness to Psychic. That's very bad, trust me. But let's move on to the trainers. As you can see, it's more than half of the deck are trainer cards, and that's basically how this deck actually plays. So we have 4 Ultra Ball. Okay, we have 4 Ultra Ball, which discards 2 cards and you search for a Pokemon on your deck. That's basically one of the best ways to get out Pyroar, Mewtwo and Charizard. Few times you have to get Litleo if you don't have Litleo, but you know, basic way to fetch your Pokemon out of your deck. Pokemon Catcher, we use this card to switch our opponent's Pokemon and kill. I usually use Pokemon Catcher to kill basic forms, basic Pokemon that evolve to something else before they evolve, to make sure that I will ruin my opponent's strategy. Switch, we use Switch to, I don't know, get rid of poison, get rid of sleep, get rid of anything, and basically, I don't know, save our active Pokemon, switch it with another best Pokemon. I cannot really explain this thing, you have to see it on the playtest. Level Ball, we use Level Ball to bring Litleos in the bench and evolve them to Pyroar, basically. Fairy Torch, we just discard. That's a nice combo that I really like. We use Fairy Torch to discard our Fire type energy, and then we get those Fire type energy back with Blacksmith. So we draw 2 cards with the Fire Torch, and then we can just get them back with the Blacksmith. I've done this in a game. I Fire Torched 1 Fire type energy, drew a Fire type energy and the Fire Torch the other Fire type energy, attached a double colorless energy on Charizard, and then played the Blacksmith on Charizard. So I had Combustion Blast first turn, attacking for 150 damage, and my opponent basically conceded. But anyways, next we have Starling Megaphone, just a basic card to remove all tools attached to my opponent's Pokemon. Pokemon Catcher, just from another expansion. Bicycle, pretty straightforward, draw cards. Roller Skate, same thing. I always flip tails on that, but still I still have it on the deck. Computer Search, I don't know if you remember this episode on the random video series that I was searching for Computer Search and Mewtwo EX and few other cards. That's a reverse holo Computer Search. Awesome. And this is an extremely good card. Discard 2 cards from your hand set, search your deck for any card, and put it in your hand. It is a Ace spec, however this is pronounced, and it is an item, not a supporter, so it is extremely good, guys. You can just get just a basic Fire type energy, sometimes can make a huge difference. Then we have 4 Professor Juniper, 2 here and 2 more here. Just I don't have the same edition. This is black and white, I believe. Discard your hand, draw 7 cards. Most of the times I use these when I have no cards in hand left, so I get full value of Professor Juniper. Lysandre, do not underestimate this card. It is extremely good, switching your opponent's Pokemon whenever you like and just get the Pokemon that you want as the active Pokemon and just boom, kill it. It's extremely good. Blacksmith, we talked about Blacksmith. Awesome combo with Fire Torch. Extremely good combo with Pyroar. You may discard a Fire type energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do, deals 30 more damage. So you basically can start discarding Fire type energies from Pyroar to deal extra damage and get them back with Blacksmith. Very good. N, pretty straightforward. Everybody knows what N does. That's a no. Let's talk about N a little bit more, because it is a vital card on this deck. So because we have only 6 basic Pokemon, 1 Mewtwo, 1 Charizard, and 4 Litleos. So only 6, which means that we have 1 out of 6, 1 out of 10% actually chance to draw a basic Pokemon on our first hand. This deck mulligans a lot, trust me, it mulligans seriously a lot. So every time that you mulligan, your opponent gets to draw one extra card, which is pretty bad. It's extremely bad actually. And most of the times when I play first and I mulligan, something like 6 or 7 times I've mulliganed that much, trust me. Having an N on your starting hand is vital, because you get to N his huge hand back and get him to draw 6 cards. So do not underestimate N on this deck. Also, it does the typical N thing, you get to just get rid of your bad hand and draw another one. So N is great on this deck. And then we have Professor Juniper and Muscle Band. Muscle Band is extremely well. Muscle Band paired with Pyroar plus the discard effect is 110 damage. Did you see that here? 110 damage. So Pyroar with Muscle Band and discarding and a fire type energy can just kill one shot your opponent's Pyroar. So that's very good for the mirror. In order to beat the mirror, you need a Muscle Band on your Pyroar. No other Pokemon on your deck, can beat your opponent's Pyroar. So make sure to just not get Starling Megaphoned when you have a Pyroar. And then we have 8 fire type energy and 4 double colorless energy. Do not underestimate the double colorless energy power on this deck. You pump Mewtwo, you pump Charizard, you pump Pyroar. It's vital to have 4 double colorless energy on this deck. So that was the deck review for the Pyroar deck. I really hope that you liked it. I have to say that I would like one more bicycle. I would like one more in this deck, and probably I would cut roller skates, or I don't know, maybe Fire Torch. I'm not sure. No, Fire Torch is good. Maybe a few switches. I could just use few less switches. I'm not sure. And I've seen a version with tropical beach. I started trying to trade for tropical beach, but it is extremely expensive, meaning that I cannot collect so many boosters, and also it will be rotated now, so it doesn't really worth getting tropical beach. But I've talked with the Cat's Meowth, and she told me that tropical beach is not so good in this deck, and I agree. But this deck has a huge problem with hypnotoxic lasers and Virbank. So I think that maybe Tropical Beach was a good Virbank counter. Other than that, I agree that Tropical Beach is not so useful on this deck. You don't need this draw effect so much, since you don't have stage 2 Pokemon. But just keep in mind that you will have a huge problem against lasers and Virbank. So make sure that I'm going to try sometime soon a version with just one stadium card to counter Virbank. But overall, that was the deck review. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure to check tomorrow's video for the playtest. I will try to show you my favorite until now deck, the Pyroar deck, in full potential. I will try to make as good plays as possible for you guys, and I really hope that you will enjoy this deck. I will play Pyroar for as long as this deck is good. I've won tons of tournaments with Pyroar, and it is awesome, guys, awesome. If you have those cards, just try this deck out. So until next time, I really hope that you enjoyed my first standard deck review. Make sure to check tomorrow's playtest video, guys. Please make sure to do that. I will probably have an annotation on the screen to go to that, but you will have to wait a day for that maybe, but whatever. Yeah, thank you so very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to this channel. Leave me a thumbs up, a like, and a comment, and also make sure to follow me on Twitter and like on my Facebook fan page. Till next time, take care of yourself. Bye guys, see ya. Peace out.